All good kayakers have learned to incorporate 4 basic principles into every aspect of their paddling. And since we're getting ready to go paddling, let's prep for success. Prep. That's P for posture, R for rotation, E for eyesight, and P for a positive mental attitude. Let's take a look at why prep is so important when you're learning to paddle.
Let's start with posture.
Good posture is everything. Bad posture makes everything harder. Your posture in the kayak affects every aspect of paddling. Balance, power, and even your mental attitude are ruled by your posture.
What this is a demonstration of how important one's posture is in the boat. And what happens is you want the boat to be pretty trim, in other words, level in the water. And if I'm neutral in posture, that'll happen. If I'm a little bit forward, that'll happen. If I'm a little bit back, that'll happen right there. So what you do is you take this 2x4 and throw it under the boat, and these boats are pretty flat on the bottom, so this works. And you put it right in front of where my butt is, or where your butt will be. I'm going to climb on in and sit in the boat and just make sure that it is really neutral. Yeah, it's pretty neutral. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate my pelvis forward, stick my chest out, and lift my chin up. And it looks a bit like this. And my head should be right over my butt. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to slump back just a little bit, rocking my pelvis back, poof, like that. And all of a sudden, I've affected the trim of the boat, haven't I? Backloaded it. I'm going to get back into that spot where my chest is out. And if I throw my chest a little further forward, hardly imperceptible, all of a sudden I front load the boat, don't I? And what's amazing to me about this is just how little changes up here and right in the pelvis affect this trim. So this sweet spot is neutral. That's what you want to find. So this is one of those things you can do at home with relatively few paraphernalia. All you need is the 2x4, you need the boat, you need yourself, and it's pretty easy to figure out what that posture does. Is that good enough?
Remember, proper posture helps you with your balance, boat control, and rotation.
R is for rotation, matey.
Developing good rotation is also a key fundamental of kayaking. Every stroke has a torso rotation component.
To get the most power out of each stroke, you want to make sure that you have good body rotation. Your paddle is connected to your upper body, your boat is connected to your lower body. You're going to wind your upper body up, plant your paddle, unwind your lower body for the most power out of each stroke.
One way to check to see if you're using rotation is to check to see the distance between your paddle shaft and your chest. If the paddle shaft is close to your chest, you're just using your puny little arm muscles. And you're going to have a really tiring, frustrating day. By getting your paddle shaft away from your chest, you're going to maximize your rotation, making you a force to be reckoned with.
Along with powerful strokes, rotating your torso during your strokes also helps to protect your shoulders.
E is for eyesight. Eyesight affects your paddling on so many different levels.
If you look at the grab loop of the boat, your chin is down and your shoulders are rolled forward, causing you to have terrible posture. This leads to little or no rotation, not to mention greatly impaired balance. You feel tippy and out of control. Things seem to happen way too fast, causing you to be even more nervous. You focus even more on the front of your boat. The vicious circle closes in on itself until you explode.
The solution's quite simple. Keep your chin up, your chest out, and your eyes on your goal. This will give you better balance, boat control, and confidence in your kayak.
Vision lets you know where you are, where you've been, and most importantly, where you are going. The first step to developing your vision is to stop looking at your grab loop and start looking around. Develop active vision. Instead of focusing on one thing, you want to keep your vision moving. Look at your buddies, the rock, the eddy, the trout under your boat, the eagle overhead. All aspects of kayaking are enhanced by where you look and what you see.
The final P in prep is for a positive mental attitude. Be confident in your skills. Be relaxed. Smile and have fun.
Your attitude in the kayak greatly affects your performance. The greatest challenge to having a good attitude is fear. Now, there are two kinds of fear. There's positive fear and negative fear. Positive fear is the adrenaline-pumping fear that actually enhances physical performance. These are the little butterflies that sharpen your perception, increase your balance, and seem to make time itself slow down. The other fear, negative fear, is like the deer in the headlights fear. It's paralyzing fear. It makes you give up and stop paddling. You let the river take you wherever it wants. The hardest part of dealing with negative fear is recognizing it. Then you can deal with it. One way to deal with negative fear is to focus on physical skills. Sit up straight. Focus your vision and try to smile. Concentrate on your technique and you have a chance. Fear is also temporary. Simply waiting a few minutes, allowing your spirits to lift, might do the trick. Remember that kayaking is supposed to be fun. If you're afraid and not having fun, you might want to walk this one. Fear can also get in the way of your learning. Fear of flipping is probably the most common. Just remember that flips and swims are an important part of learning to be a safe and effective kayaker. Flipping is not failure, it's learning.
So that's prep. Posture, rotation, eyesight, and a positive mental attitude. That's your foundation for becoming a better boater. Prep is the magic ingredient that makes everything work. Your strokes, controlling your boat, balance, and even water reading are all enhanced by prep. In fact, most missed moves, bad strokes, or flips on the river can be traced directly back to the lack of prep. So if you're ever having trouble with a new skill, ask yourself, am I prepped? Am I sitting in my kayak in an upright, stable posture? Am I rotating for powerful strokes? Am I looking where I want to go? And more importantly, how's my attitude? Am I confident and aggressive? Answering no to any one or more of these questions means you're probably going to have trouble.